Okay, so if you look at variance, we have basic variance. We are not calling basic variance, you call it traditional. That's one part. Another one is what we call advanced variance. If you are not calling it advanced variance, they can call it any word they call it. But how are you going to know that it's advanced variance? You are going to see if you have more than either one product, they can test it under material. If you're having more than one material, mute your mic, please. If you're having more than one material, you can have material A, material B, material C. Immediately you see any question or any of the elements, maybe labor, material, fix or whatever, that is having more than one product. It can even be sales. That is having more than one product, then it becomes advanced. But if it's just one product or one material or one labor, maybe skills, or they can call semi-skills or whatever, it means it's just ordinary basic tradition, basic variance. So another one, which is third one, is the operational we're talking about, planning or operational. So I'm going to talk about this. When I'm done with this, I will summarize the advanced. Then you can go and even at the point of doing this too, we will also touch this traditional as well. Because whatever you want to do must arrive at this. Maybe before I go, let's go this way. We have what we call traditional variance. If you are not calling it that, you can call it basic variance. This basic variance now, under this planning and operation, is now divided into two. We have planning and we have operational. Which means that whatever you get here, if you get 5 here and you get 6 here, it means your traditional or normal basic variance must give you what? Must give you 11. So addition of these two will give you this. That's what the basic variance is. Now, this can be under materials, under labor, which means that by the time you are calculating this, there are 2 things you are expected to do here. There are also 2 things you are expected to do here. You are expected to do, let's assume you are doing on price, on material. You are expected to calculate the price of material and the usage of the material. Then you also have to do the price again and the usage again. So addition of these two will be equal to when you are calculating normal variance, that is the price and the usage here. So by the time you have price and usage here, it must give you the addition of price and usage here and price and usage here. Are we getting that gist? So we are going to start with operational. So once this you understand it now, the next thing you need to know is the formula. So we'll talk about the operational variance. So let's talk about the price, material, variance equals to, it's going to be open. So you will start this with what? With expose minus actual. Because we are talking about price here, it's going to be expose price minus what? Minus actual price. Then you multiply by what? Actual quantity. What is the meaning of this expose? We have ex ante, we have expose, and we have actual. Ex ante means, see, at the beginning, I want to prepare for a product. So I said, I'm going to spend 50,000 naira or 50 naira. Then later I noticed that prices has gone up. I won't be able to meet up with that price. That price will not be enough for me. So I say, okay, I think because of things has gone up, I now rebudgeted for that particular product. I said it's going to be 70,000 now or 70 naira. But at the end of the day, the actual amount I spent was 100 naira. So the first budgeted is what we call ex ante. That is the original one you started with. Then the 70 naira you now reverse later is what we call ex post. Or we call it reverse standard price. Then the 100 naira you actually spend at the end of the day is what we call actual what? Actual price. So in the question, you are going to be given this type of question. So anytime you see examiner testing, planning, and operation, they will first give you information about the original standard cost. Then they will now give you a reversed quote of that first one they gave you. Then they will give you 100. And that's where you are going to know that this is operation. And then now you are able to do this. Then you get the usage as well. Material usage variance. So which is going to be what? It's going to be the same thing, the same way you have written it here. But you are using normal formula you use when you are using your basic variance. So it's going to be expose. But instead of price now, it's going to be quantity because we are talking about usage now. Then minus actual quantity. Normally, we used to multiply by standard price. So there's no standard price again. We now have what? We have ex ante. So it will now be multiplied by ex ante what? Price. And that ends that story. So whatever you do here now, I believe you can see online. So whatever you do here now, you are good to go. You are done with operational. Then, assuming this one is not material, assuming it's labor, the same formula you are going to apply if it is labor. You know, to get the labor rate is normal standard rate minus actual rate, then multiplied by an actual hour work. It will now be expose rates minus actual rate multiplied by actual hour work. Then when you get here now, when you want to get labor efficiency, which is the replacement of usage material here, it will be the same thing as expose hour worked minus actual hour worked multiplied by standard rate. But that standard rate is not here any longer. It will now be multiplied by ex ante rates. Okay, so then we have planning. I don't want to use more than 1 hour on this question. Planning. So for planning, it will also be divided into these two. So we have price, material, variance. Now, under planning now, we'll be comparing ex ante and expose together. So we'll be comparing the two of them together. So it will now be ex ante. Because we are talking about price, ex ante price minus what? Expose. You are comparing that two together. Price multiplied by the actual hour. The actual quantity, sorry. Then you talk about material usage. Is it price material or material price? Anyhow you put it anyway. So material
usage.
Yeah, don't worry, just follow anyhow. So material usage now, variance will now be, you are still comparing these two together.
Ex ante standard quantity.
So it will not be, because we are talking about material usage now, it's going to be ex ante quantity minus expose quantity, then multiply by what? Multiply by
ex ante standard price.
Yes, ex ante. Don't put standard again. Just put ex ante or original price. Okay, that is what I want you to understand under this. So this question has been tested, I think maybe even once. So let me just snap it, then we'll now take that question we're trying to solve yesterday before we close. Okay, so let me share that question again. November 2015, question 2. So if somebody can help us to read, that would be nice. Okay, I will read myself because of time. So Peston Limited produces cake and bread, which is supplied to a major supermarket in Abuja. It owed no inventory because it adopts just-in-time system. The standard cost of the wheat used in baking the products is 200 naira per kg. Each piece of cake uses 0.5 of wheat, while each loaf of bread uses 2 kg of wheat. The production level of cake, for cake and bread for the month of October were as follows. So all figures assumed correct. The actual cost of wheat in October was 232 per kg. And then 496,000 kg of wheat was used to bake the bread, and 190,000 kg was used to bake the cake. The global prices of wheat increased by 18% in the month of October. At the beginning of the month, the supermarket group made an expected request for an immediate shape change to the cake, resulting in 5% more wheat than the previous required. This change also brought about production delays, which caused a reduction in production by 20,000 units of cake in that month. The production director is given the task of purchasing relevant input materials and any production requests which occur, although it does not take responsibility for setting standard cost. Required: compute the following variances for the month of October for each of the products and in total. That is, calculate for each and then in total. Material price planning variance, 4 marks. Material price operation variance, 4 marks. Material usage planning variance, 4 marks. Material usage operational variance, 4 marks. What are the benefits of planning and operational variance to a management accountant? 4 marks. Okay, so what they are saying there is simple and straightforward. We want to calculate 2 things. We want to calculate for operation variance, just like what we just did now. But before we go, we need to bring out our information. Let's bring out the information. Since we are working on planning and operation, they must give us these 3 things. They must give us the exact information. And we are producing 2 types of products. We have cake and we have bread. So for cake, they said from the cake, they said the standard cost of which used in baking the product is 200 naira per kg. 200 naira per kg.
Please adjust the board, sir.
What do you say? I just, okay. So they say it's 200 naira per kg. Then if you look at it, they say each price of cake uses what? 0.5 kg. Right? 0.5 kg. Then they talk about the one of bread. They said bread is also 200 naira for both of them, but this one is as 2 kg, which means that if you want to talk about the unit price now, the unit price of this times this will give us what? 100, Abi. So this gives us 100 naira. This gives us 400. So this is units price. And when you are calculating variance, you don't have anything to do with units. Your focus is here and here, not here. That is amount per kg per whatever they are selling, not on units. Okay. Now we have for expos. I believe you still remember expos. Expos is the other, the reversed one. So let's look at the expos now from the question. From the information now, they said the global prices of wheat increased by 18% in the month of what? In the month of October. What is the prices they are talking about? This is the prices they are talking about. So these two prices increase in that month. So it means we have cake. We have bread. So this figure will increase now by 200 multiplied by 1.18. Then this also will increase 200 times 1.18. So what will be the new figure? Then it will now be at and at. What will be this new figure? 200 times 1.8, 236, 236, 236. So this is the reverse price of wheat as at that particular time. Now, not only that, they continue, they said, at the beginning of the month, the supermarket group made an expected request for an immediate shape change to the cake. So they are going to change the cake, the shape. Maybe because they are changing the cake shape, they are going to use small material. So they said, for the cake resulting to what? 5% more wheat than previously required. This change also brought about production delay. So now, it means this is 0.5, which is for cake. The material they are going to use has increased. So it's going to be 0.5 kg, then multiplied by 1.05. So that price has increased. I mean, that material has increased. But they did not say anything about bread. So which means the bread shape remain as it is, which is 2 kg. Remain 2 kg. Remain 2 kg. So now let's find the new price for them now. Okay, we have this already. So let's get this one. This will give us 0.525 kg. This one will remain 2 kg. That will remain 2 kg. So now, this is for S2. Then we have for actual. So for actual, we have for cake and we have for bread. So actual material used on that cake was given as well. Yes, total. What is the total for cake? 496,000 kg for cake, Abby. Okay, so how about the price?
Sorry, that's for the bread.
Okay, that's for bread. Maybe you should give me the price first.
The price is
232. Then at the total
190,000.
190,000 kg for this. So how about bread? What is the actual for bread?
Yeah, it's 232.
232 at
496,000.
496,000 kg. Okay, so we have all the information we need now. Ability to determine and to get all this information is very important. Then you can now start applying your what? Your formula to it. So let me just snap this. And then we'll move on to the wait. You not write it here. You write it here. You should just know. Please see all you people as HOA. So we want to see you professional. Okay, so now that you have been able to identify all those items that we need, we'll now go to operational. We'll take it one by one, operational variance. So we'll take the first one, which is for cake. For cake, remember the formula. Or maybe I should write the formula first. We are talking about material price variance under operational. So it means it's going to be what? Expose minus what? Actual price multiplied by actual quantity. So I will now start with cake. So I don't need to repeat my formula again. So for cake now, go to cake. What is the price under expose? So 236 minus what is the actual?
The actual is
232. Actual quantity for cake.
plus 190,000.
190,000 kg. Whatever you get is our answer. Then we go to bread. Bread is the same figure, I mean. Then for something. 196,000 kg. So when you find the difference, what do we get for cake and for bread? For cake and for bread.
760,000.
760,000. And the second one? 1,984,000. Now, that is the calculation. Ability to determine favorable or adverse will also play a vital role here. So you are comparing the price of export to actual. Let me ask you a question. Which of this price will come first? Which of this price will you get first?
Expose.
Export. So it means this is what we first have. This is what you plan for. Then you now resorted to this one. Which one is higher? This one is higher than this, right? So which means you have been able to have a positive. Abi? So this is a favorable. The same thing will happen to this one, right? So these two are favorable. When you have the favorable to favorable, what do we get? $274,000. So these two are favorable. That is under operational material variance. Before you move away from here, I will just suggest to just do material.
Sorry, excuse me, sir. Hello, sir. The formula for the material
Your network is
we use is wrong.
Your network is not stable. What is the
Because
question?
the formula you gave us, we asked to calculate material price planning variance, and the formula you gave us, you said material price planning variance is ex ante price minus ex post times the actual quantity.
Hold on. Do you see the formula I just dropped on the platform?
Yes.
Go and look for that formula.
That's for planning, not
Ex-
Go and look at the formula I just dropped now. Not too long. Look at it. Is it different from what we put here?
Okay.
So if it is different, let me know. So
Okay.
material usage, material usage variance, abi? So which is what? Expose. This is price here, Nabi. So this should now be expose quantity minus actual quantity multiplied by what? Ex-ante price. The thing is that when you are under operational, you are comparing expose and actual. When you are working under planning, you are comparing ex-ante and expose together. So we can now move on now for cake. Now that we have our formula for cake, what is our expose quantity? Expose quantity was not given to us. Abi, they only gave us the actual quantity, which is what? Which is the 19,000 kg. Am I lying? It's correct. That is the actual quantity for cake. But now, even if you are calculating it under basic variance, under advanced variance, or under this, anytime you are calculating usage and efficiency, it must be based on actual production. So, which means that for us to get exposed quantity, we need to know actual production. From here now, what is our exposed quantity per kg in the question under expose? Is 0 point something. 0.525 kg. Right? Let me extend this. Then multiply by what is the actual production for cake? 360. So you multiply by 360,000 minus the actual quantity. Then ex-ante price. What is our ex-ante price? That is the original price given to us. 200. Is it 200?
No, 200.
No, the original ex-ante
It's 200.
200. This one is export.
This
So
one is
200.
yes.
Yes. So this is 200. Are you getting that? Then we go to bread. Or before you go to bread, you can multiply this together. What do you get? 189. 189,000.
The 5% increase, they don't say this change also brought about production into which caused a reduction in the production by 20,000. Can we go into this 20,000 and remove it
From the production, yeah. I will explain after all the calculations. So now we have this now. We also need to get actual quantity used. This is the actual quantity used for cake now. I mean the exposed quantity. So we also need to get for bread. So it's going to be 2 kg multiplied by actual production for cake for bread. 240,000. Then minus what is the total, which is this 496,000 kg multiplied by 200. So what do we get for cake now? For cake, so that would be 189 minus 180 multiplied by 200. I mean minus 190. What is it? 200,000. 200,000. Then the second one. This time, see, that's the 240. 240. 480 kg. Okay. Multiply by 200. This minus this multiply by 200. 3 million. 3,200,000. 180. 180. Where's 180? 189. What happened?
Is it 189? 180?
Yes, this minus this. This minus this. Is that what you did? So now we want to know if it is favorable or adverse. Now, between post and actual, which one will come first? Post. Before they will now actually incur. So compare this to this. Is it getting better or is it a positive result or negative result? It's a negative result because they are spending more than what they actually prepare for. So it means this one is what? Adverse. The same thing to this, they spend more than what they budgeted for. This is also adverse. So addition of these two adverse gives us what? 3,400,000 adverse. Now, that is for our operation. Then we go to planning. Then we go to planning. You can snap it. Okay, I can forward it to one of you, then later you can get it. So planning variance. The planning variance is also divided into two as usual. We have material price variance, which is equals to, now you are comparing ex post and ex ante. So it now be ex ante price minus ex post price multiply by what? Actual quantity. Then I will come here and say cake equals to, what is my ex ante price for cake? Ex ante price for cake? 200. Then
that place supposed to be expose standard quantity.
we are talking about pricing, no, not quantity. Okay, you mean here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that what I put in the formula? Look at the formula I shared to the. If you check the formula I dropped to the platform, let's follow this formula. When you check the formula we are under planning now. Is it expo quantity I put there or actual quantity? It's actual quantity that I put there. Then expo's price. What is our expo's price again? 2 something. 236, I mean. 236. Our actual quantity for this is what? 190,000 kg. Then we go to bread. Bread is also 200, I guess. The same price, I guess. 26. This one is 480, I mean. 496,000 kg. What do we get from that?
$6 million.
6,840,000. Then the second one. 856,000. We need to know if it is adverse or favorable. Ex ante, this is the original price you budgeted. Then you now reverse to the higher one. So it's an adverse, Abi. So this is adverse, and this also will be adverse. So addition of the two gives us what? $24,696,000 adverse. 696,000 adverse. Then we go to the second one, which is the usage now. So we can say material usage planning variance. So you quote the formula. Don't forget, we are still comparing these two together. Expose, ex ante minus expose. Let me put quantity here, because here we are talking about quantity. Minus expose quantity, then multiply by ex ante price. Ex ante price. So we can now start with cake here. Cake equals to get our ex ante quantity, we need the original kg, which is 0. What? Like I said, anytime you are working, anytime you get to usage and efficiency, it must be based on the actual production. So this is per kg multiplied by, no, this is ex ante now. So it will be multiplied by what is the total production for cake? Total units.
Actual production.
Yes, for cake. 360. Then minus, what is the expose for this one?
0.525.
0.525 kg. Then multiply by the actual production. I think it's still 360, I mean. 360,000. Then our ex ante will be 200, I mean. Ex ante price 200. I believe online I'll follow you. Then we go to bread. Bread also must be based on actual quantity. Actual production. So I think this one is 2, right?
Yes.
It's 2, it doesn't change. 2 kg times 246.
240.
Yes, 240,000. Then minus still 2 kg, have it? Multiplied by 240 as well. 240,000. Multiplied by 200. Okay. So when you multiply, what do you get? So if you multiply this now, so that we know.
180.
This one is 180,000. This one is what?
185.
189,000. Then if you multiply this one, this gives us 4.
ẹ̀rẹ̀ ti sọ̀rọ̀ fún mi lẹ́ẹ̀kún lẹ̀ ti yé mi bẹ́ẹ̀.
So this is 480,000. Then this one also will be 480, I mean. 480,000. So no doubt, this one will give us 0. So this is 0. So how about the first one?
9,000.
9,000 times 2, 1.8 million.
1.8. 1,800. 1,800 million. So adverse of favorable. This is 180. This is 190. Is it increasing or reducing? It's increased. So it's an adverse. So it means total here will give us 180 what? 1,800 adverse. Okay, we are done with what they asked us to do. Assuming this is the exam now, this is what they ask you to do for 4 marks and you are done. But we need to test it if what you have done is right. And like I said, the testing is calculating the traditional. Comparing the traditional to what you have calculated so far. So we want to know if what we have gotten is correct or not correct. So how do we check that? This is how we check. We will say traditional variance. We want to calculate material price variance. So to calculate material variance is simple. It will be standard what? Standard price minus actual price multiplied by actual quantity what? Purchase, Abi. Purchase. So we have for cake, which is going to be, what is the standard price? 200, Abi.
Yes.
That exactly is the same thing as standard. So 200 minus actual price is what?
232.
232. What is actual quantity purchased by for cake?
90.
190 kg. Then we have for bread. That will be 200, I guess, the same price. Then for something.
490.
496,000 kg. Then we get our figure. Then we go to the material usage. Variance. That is standard price, standard quantity minus actual quantity. But this one is based on actual what? Production. Because we are talking about usage and efficiency. Times actual quantity multiplied by standard price. So we come back to cake. So we come back to cake. Cake will be what? Cake will be 0.5, right? Then multiply by actual quantity. Actual production, sorry. What's the actual production for cake? 360. Then actual quantity is 190, I guess. Yes.
Yes.
190,000 kg. Then you do the same thing to bread.
Standard price.
Standard price is 200, Abi.
It should be multiplied by
Standard price. Material usage.
And this is actual quantity. They multiply by standard price.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So the standard price is 200, Abi.
Yes.
Then we have bread. Bread, we have 2 kg for bread. What is the total production? 240. Then multiply by actual quantity, this one.
4,000.
Multiply by 200 also. So yeah, let's find this one now. What do we get for the first one? For the cake.
6 million. 6 0.
60,
8
80. Then the second one.
10 million.
15 million.
8 7.
872. So we need to know if it is adverse or favorable. Adverse. Adverse, Abi. Then this one,
We are doing it.
okay, we can have
21,954.
1,000.
Yes.
Okay. This is a normal basic variance. It's not advanced. So the second one, how about the cake now?
2 million.
What is it? 2 million.
2 million, yes.
2 million. Is it correct? Then the last one,
3.2 million.
3.2 million.
Million, yes. They're both adverse.
They are both adverse.
Yes.
If there is this one, 180. And this time,
Online, please mute your mic. Let's hear Mr. James, I beg.
don't worry. Let me pin my screen so that everybody can talk if you want to talk. It won't affect you. Yeah. So now 180,000 compared to this is an adverse, abi?
Yes.
Then 480,000 compared to 490. So it's an adverse. Addition of these two gives us what? 5,200,000, which means that the total traditional will be 21 plus this. What do we get? 21 plus this. That will be 27 something.
28, 152.
28. Are you sure? 28,152,000 adverse.
7,152.
27,152.
Okay. 27,152. Adverse, abi?
Yes.
Now, how are we now going to know what we have done is right? Let me first snap this now. You have this with you. So let me snap this. Then we can now look at it. How are we going to know that it is right or not right? It's like we don't finish that question, sir. Because in that question, they said we should find for each and total. Okay, it's like we find total now.
Yes, we did that.
We did the total. So now total planning. Or do we start with operation? Total operational. So what is for the price? Under
Sorry, we
operational.
can't see the board though. You can't see what you're writing.
What is for the price? The total for price, material price. What is the total price? Yeah, under operation.
Material price.
Yeah, the total. Just the total.
2.7 million, 2,744,000.
44,000 advance.
Yes, favorable.
Then the same thing under operation we have usage.
Material usage.
So what do we get for
3,400,000.
3,400,000 advance of favorable
Advice.
advance. Then we go to total
Planning, material price
planning.
planning.
So under this planning we have price as well.
Yes,
How much?
24,696,000.
Like this.
Yes,
Then we have usage. How much?
1,800,000. Adverse.
Okay.
Adverse.
So it means you are going to add 1, 2, 3 together. You will less the first one. I hope we are not missing anything here. Okay, yeah. Let's add the 3 less favorable.
Before
The 3. Huh?
27 million 150,000.
27 million 152,000. So know that you are right. This figure must be the same thing to this. So this is what you have done under operational and planning. This is what you have done using traditional. So addition of the two of all these things must give you this. To make sure that what you have done. So that is the end of that operational variance. So if they bring it now, I believe we should be able to do it. So I'm going to just run through transfer pricing first. After transfer pricing, I will now come to advance and advance because of time. I don't know maybe the time will be enough. So I'm going to online. Do you have any question? Are we all okay? Is it clear now?
It's
I
clear.
believe. Yeah. So now let me run you through that transfer pricing.